Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been 6 years since the last video, which was an Island Peak gear list. Today we're doing a Mont Blanc gear list. I climbed Mont Blanc last month in June, so early in the season, and we went day 1 to Tête Rousse, day 2 to the summit, back down to Goutier, day 3 back down to Chamonix. Did it early in the season, as I said, in June, so it was cold. Well, colder than it would be if you did it in July or August. But one big advantage of that is that lots of snow still on the mountain, especially around the Grand Couloir. Usually get rockfall in summer. Went earlier in the season, packed full of snow. We didn't see any rockfall or movement there, so it was nice and safe. But it did mean the mountain was probably a little bit colder than it would be if you did it in summer.
I watched a lot of YouTube videos where it's like there's no snow and there's a rock waterfall.
Yeah, and sometimes you have something like that.
Now, onto the gear list. So I'm going to keep this simple. I'm going to break it down into 3 parts. First part is going to be clothing, second part equipment, third part what was I using when. Starting off with the gear, so I'm going to break that down into base layer, mid layer, warmth layer, outer layer. So for the base layer, we had a wool base layer. This is from Icebreaker, I think it's 200 weight. Then I had a couple of pairs of socks. So this is a mid-weight mountaineering sock and a heavyweight mountaineering sock. Had a skull cap, a buff, which you would put over your head and mouth at times, keep you a little bit warmer. And had a couple of pairs of underwear, but we'll not show you those. That's the base layer. On to the mid layer. So first piece is this lightweight fleece. It's kind of almost transparent. It's quite thin, but warm enough. Then we have this soft shell jacket in a ridiculous color. Again, fairly, I would say mid-weight. Definitely not a lightweight or a heavyweight on that one. And then on the legs, we had these soft shell trousers. And these are fairly heavyweight, to be honest. Definitely not lightweight. A little bit too warm at times on the way up. Not on summit day, but on the prior days. A little bit warm, but still fine. Now onto the warmth layer. So had just this lightweight down jacket. It's, I think it's a Rab Microlight. Don't know exactly how much down is in it, but it's fairly thin, but again, sufficiently warm. And then finally, the outer layer, we had a hard shell jacket, this one from Rab, and hard shell trousers. I think these are Arc'teryx Alpha SL, fairly lightweight. Got full length zips, which is very useful when you want to take them off when you're wearing crampons. So that is the clothing. Now let's go on to the gear. So I didn't have everything, I did rent some pieces, but we'll go through everything. So first of all, let's start with the head and kind of go down. So had this helmet in case you get some rockfall, protect your head. Then I had this balaclava, didn't use it. It was for extra warmth in case it was windy. Then we have the sunglasses. So I had to get the most ridiculous pair I could find. So I got these Julvo Vermont Classics with side shields. Look ridiculous, didn't steam up, which I was quite happy about. A couple of other friends also bought mountaineering glasses and they steamed up, so they couldn't use them. But these ones, very good. Also took a pair of ski goggles. Never used them, again, in case if it got really windy. Don't know what brand these are, I kind of found them somewhere, quite cheap ones I think. Then we have a head torch. So this is used on summit day You start off kind of 3 a.m. I think it was, so it's a little bit dark. You need to see where you're going when you're going up steep rocks. Then we have the harness. This is just a normal sport climbing harness. I didn't get anything like a alpine climbing harness. This was definitely sufficient. Next up we have the gloves. So the gloves, these are again definitely not lightweight, not super heavyweight, didn't need mittens, but these are insulated leather gloves. Easily sufficient, never felt cold on the climb, on the hands. Then we had gaiters. So gaiters, these for a couple of reasons. First of all, they prevent crampons from digging into your trousers, and they also keep a little bit of snow out of the boots. That now takes us then to the boots. So these are pretty big. Les Sportiva Nepal GTX, I think they are. I went one size larger than my street shoe size, so you have a little bit of extra room in the toes when you're kicking your crampons into the snow. Then of course we had crampons on the bottom of these shoes, rented the crampons, and also took this, a trekking pole, had an ice axe as well, rented the ice axe, and this was used for kind of keeping stability on the steep sections along with the ice axe. So almost a mandatory piece of kit, I say this was. Now this is a sleeping bag liner. This is mandatory in the huts, in the Goutier and Tétrousse. I guess it's to keep the sheets clean because they do provide bedding. But if you have this, then it prolongs the life of them, so they have to wash their sheets less frequently. And finally, on the backpack, I took this 35-litre backpack, and it was sufficiently sized. Not too big, not too small. Could fit everything in, but it wasn't like it was getting in the way or anything, so perfect. Other things I took: sweets, camera, a GoPro that was on my head, and some food. One more thing, I almost forgot, water bottle. So I took a 1 litre bottle, and you can buy water in the huts. It's €9 for 1.5 litres, but it's better than carrying like 6 kilograms of water up to the huts. So just buy the water when you're there. Now, what did I wear on summit day? Well, basically everything really. The only things I didn't have was sleeping bag liner, which I left in the hut. These ski goggles, this balaclava, didn't need them because it wasn't cold enough. And the hard shell never got used. It always stayed in my backpack. I did take it to summit in case it got windy, but thankfully the weather was very good. Clear, not that windy, and the guide said one of the best days he'd seen on the mountain. So that is pretty much it. I hope this video was useful, and thank you for watching. Ciao.